Hi everybody, welcome again to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I'm Jeannie Nelson, the Card Lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. First of all, I apologize. I did not have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I got knocked off of my Facebook Live. But it turns out that it wasn't a bad thing because I was making a disaster of things and not showing you the right way to do things. So we're going to start all over again. I'm going to go live again, and thank you for joining me. If you've been watching my Facebook page and Instagram this week, you've been noticing that I have been using the Sketched Butterflies stamp set and dies. This is the stamp set. It's backwards right now for me. Hopefully you can see it. It has some beautiful butterfly images, small, medium, and large. It has some great sentiments, and I really, really love it. I have decided that it's a perfect way to exit summer with the butterflies getting ready to migrate. This is a perfect time to enjoy these butterflies. So I wanted to share with you very quickly. I just ended up deleting the last live, so I apologize if you've seen this already and you're going to see it again. But I'm going to show you the cards that we are making in our card class. Card class is tonight. I've had one class this morning. I have another card class tonight, and I have still a third class on Saturday morning. I'm trying to hit all of the time zones. Can't make it till weekend, come a weekday. Can't make evening, come daytime. So I can't have 4 classes, unfortunately, but I can have 3. So if you haven't registered yet, or if you want to take this card class to go, you can certainly do that as well. I am going to have extra kits at our retreat, which is coming up. I've already advertised my retreat, October 5th. World Card Making Day, perfect day to go out and celebrate. We are going to have a retreat at the Linfield Congregational Church again, Center Congregational Church. They have a beautiful basement, beautiful room, kitchen with full facilities for us to use, and my team and I are getting ready to spoil you. We're getting all ready, and I hope you sign up if you haven't already. I'll put the link for that in the comments or in the description when I finish this, and I'm going to put the link for the card class. You can sign up for it to go or to come. I'd love to see you too. Let me flip up to flip down so you can see the cards that we are making in class, and then I'm going to show you still another card that is not featured in class. It's not a tutorial, so you're going to have to watch this live to get the directions for how to make this beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, let me flip up and let's get ready to go. In your, if you cross your eyes, you might be able to see butterflies in my outfit that I wore today. Kinda, right? Maybe. Let's see. I guess is there a way to make a flash? Maybe it's a little bit lighter. I don't know. Okay, so these are the 4 cards. This is one of the cards. It uses the butterflies. It's a set of 3 butterflies that are all 1 die, detailed, beautiful to cut out of white or any color that you want to. I did the in color paper. This is Summer Splash put on Coastal Cabana. What a nice compliment to each other. And of course the Summer Splash ribbon. And Spotlight on Nature die cut is highlighting the sentiment inside. Hope is a beautiful thing that flutters in the soul. What a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. Of course, we have some in-color shimmer gems here, as well in the centers of the flowers. Here is another in-color card. This color is pretty in pink. Isn't this so pretty? Of course, I used Unbounded Beauty designer paper this time, still using the pink shimmer gems. But what I did was I stamped the 3 butterflies, the small, medium, and large butterfly, and then colored them with a pretty in pink Stampin' Blend. So this is the lovely, lovely, labeled Lovely Punch or something like that, which is also found in the catalog as a die cut. So if you prefer dies instead of a punch, you can do that as well. Beautiful birthday card. This is my 3rd card, a fancy fold card, pretty in peacock. Sorry, no center. This is scored in half and then in half again with the peach pie layer and then Frames and Flowers designer paper. I wish there was more designer paper in those packages. There's only 3 sheets in each package, and this is the very last of the paper that I have of this design. I just loved this one. This is the Encircled in Nature die. Both the center that's stamped with some butterflies in pretty peacock. If you look really closely, you can see that I pulled color out of the stamped Pretty Peacock. It's so hard to do Pretty in Pink and then Pretty Peacock. But anyway, I used Wink of Stella to pull the color into the butterflies. That's a tip that Celine taught me way back when. Of course, there's this butterfly. This is the smallest butterfly die cut, and I added adhesive just to the center so that you could make it look like it's flying. And I actually did that with these too. I should let you know. I just added adhesive just to the center. You can add dimensional or foam strips to the center, or glue just to the center, glue dots, whatever adhesive you use. It's a little hard to do with the Seal or Seal Plus, just to the center, but you can probably do it if you wanted to. Okay, our last card is Boho Blue, my favorite color. Can you tell? This is a swallowtail butterfly that I cut and adhered, and I also actually tried to color this one with the Wink of Stella, but I think I waited too long to color it. I used the Distress Tile 3D folder, but before I put it in the embossing folder, I made a score line 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of my layer here, which is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. You don't need to write this down if you are taking the class, because I've got my tutorial almost fully written. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that I don't like to stamp on embossing. So what I do is I do a score line and then insert the paper just to that the bottom, to the score line. I line that up with the bottom of the folder. So then I've got something really clearly, easily for stamping. Of course, I tied my ribbon. It needs to be a little bit tighter. I'll work on that, but that's this one. The card that we're going to make today is, again, another Boho Blue card. And it's another fancy fold card. It actually takes a full sheet of paper. This is the card we're going to make today. Oh, I should have a center in this one, but I don't. I am going to work on that and have a center for this card when we make it today, so that you can see what you can do with it. Okay, I've done some of the prep work because I wasn't prepared the last time, and then my phone call knocked me off, and I thought it was a perfect excuse to start over. Okay, the first thing we have is a full sheet of cardstock. I have my full sheet of Boho Blue, which I cut in half at 5.5 inches. This is my outside card base, and what I'm going to do is score that right down the middle with my scoreboard that I now have next to me. Let me get my glasses here so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to score that at 4 1/4 inches. So let's just take our stylus and score at 4 1/4 inches, just like that. I'll burnish my fold a little bit more in a second with my bone folder. But I have one more that I have to score. This card is 5 1/4 inches by 8 inches. What I'm going to do is score it first at 2 inches, and then I'm going to flip it over and score it at 4 inches. Now, you remember maybe from me teaching, when I'm doing my folding, you actually want the mountain in the middle. I think monkey in the middle, mountain in the middle, and that's how I know this is the inside of my card. Let me fold that like that, and I'm going to burnish the edge with my bone folder, just like I said. Then I'm going to fold this one back. So the mountain again goes in the middle. I'm folding it back, just like that. And this is going to be the inside of my card, and you'll see that in just a second. Let me burnish this edge just a little bit, and then we can put my bone folder away. There we go. Okay, the next thing I had to do was, oh, did I take my circle now? Where did I put my circle? Hang on 1 second. If it isn't one thing, it's another. But let me tell you what we're going to do. Oh, I found it. Okay. So the next thing I did was I took a plain piece of basic white cardstock. This piece, again, is 4 by 5 1/4. So this is going to be a mat on my card front, just like that. The first thing I did was I die cut my circle. This is the second largest, and you can use either pattern, the second largest of the Spotlight on Nature dies. When I finish, I'm going to clean out all these holes because it die cuts much nicer later on if they are cut out. I'm going to show you what we're going to do though. So let me put this off to the side because I need that in a second. The first thing I'm going to do is lay my paper here. I'll lay my paper on the card front, just like that. And I'm going to take just I don't need very much. In fact, maybe I will actually use a glue dot. I want something not very permanent in the middle of my die cut. So let's do that. My glue dots have all adhered to my box because, anyway, I'm going to just keep this layered right here. I'm going to put a glue dot right there, and then I'm going to put this in my center, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is remove that, and I am going to take my die, which really would be better off. I'd have an easier time seeing this if I didn't have all these holes filled in. So let me just pull out a couple of holes just so I can line it up better, okay? Just a couple of the chads we're going to get rid of. And then what I'm going to do is line up, oh, shouldn't have done that. Well, you know what? Let me line up my die cut first so that I can, again, cut. The reason I have to line this up is because I'm running this through the die cutting machine. If it's not lined up, it's not going to cut correctly for me to be able to reuse my circle. Okay, so let's lay this here on the card front, just like that. And I'm going to put this right inside my circle, just like that. Okay, I can remove that. And what I'm going to do is just run this very quickly through my die cutting machine. There we go. And I'm going to take out the blue layer of the boho blue. I was going to use my little machine and do it on camera, but then I realized that the card is too wide for that. That's not going to work. So, okay, here's the test. So I've cut now my window of my blue, and I've cut the white. I can remove the boho blue now. I don't need that anymore. I can save that for something. I could stamp it maybe on the inside if I wanted to. I'm not going to use that one because, first of all, it didn't do very clearly, stamp very cleanly. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take a Memento ink pad and I'm going to stamp a sentiment right here at the bottom. This one is, you brighten up so many of my days. I'm reading that backwards. It's not that I can't read, it's that I can't read backwards. Backwards and upside down is a little of a trouble. What I'm going to do is stamp this. I did this one in boho blue. Maybe I'll do it in boho blue actually, because I really do like that look. You just have to be very careful when you're using our classic ink. These with the foam pads, they get a little muddied if you do it. If you tap it or if you get it too inked up, it gets in between the letters. So what I want to do is just very carefully just tap it like that. You want it nice and clean when you're doing this. And I'm going to make sure I stamp it correctly. I'm going to do right here. I'm going to do it, line it up at the bottom. I already lined up my sentiment with the block. This is when I always say, trust the block. There we go. The good thing about a circle, though, is if you aren't quite centered, you can probably turn your circle a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is stamp a butterfly. And I have the medium butterfly. It's a beautiful, beautiful stamp. And I'm going to ink that up right here. And because I am a genie, by the magic of television, voila, here we go. Sorry, that was kind of corny, but you get what I mean. I don't have time to do all this. This is where I was saying I like to add my adhesive just to the center here. Use the outside of your dimensionals. Those are nice strips for narrow areas. I've got my paper snips here, and I'm just going to do a little strip right here at the end, and I'm going to put that, oh, it could even be smaller. Look at that. It's probably better for the bigger. Just like that. I'm going to do just a narrow piece right there in the middle. So what I want to be able to do is make it look like my butterfly is flying. So we're going to add that to the center just like that. Okay, we're almost done with this card. It's not a hard card. It does take a lot of material, but it's not a hard card. Let me put my paper snips back. Let me put my take your pick tool back together before I stick somebody. That would be me. Okay, now, so I've got my card front. I've done the die cutting. What I'm going to do next is add adhesive onto my paper. So I'm going to glue this onto the card front. And because I had it lined up before, it should be no trouble to line it up again. Just like that. Perfect. Now, the next thing I want to do is take my inside. Now remember, I said it was a fancy fold card. I'm going to glue this to the inside so that it opens just like that. I'm going to add my adhesive right here, and this is going to be your backwards part, and it's going to go right inside the card. So remember, this is 5 1/4 inches high by 8 inches. I scored it at 2 inches and 4 inches. And we're going to go just like that. And the next thing I'm going to do is close my card. And what I'm going to do is very carefully just add adhesive to the inside of my circle. So you see where the glue is right there? Just like that. Oh, don't let that get all over everything. And I am going to put my circle back in here, just like that. There we go. And voila, there is our fancy fold card. Isn't that so pretty? I think we need to finish the inside. So let me grab a piece of my cardstock here. I already go to Staples and I have my cardstock inserts cut down so that they're always going to be ready. What I want to do is stamp a butterfly or a set of butterflies inside. Sorry, they're all set up for my card class tonight, which is why I'm not exactly ready or have it right next to me. Okay, what I'm going to do is once again take my boho blue, and I'm going to ink up my butterflies, and this is a set of 4 butterflies, and they're going to go very nicely down in the corner, just like that. I can just do that, and then I can add another sentiment in here just like that. So see how easy this card was, especially when I was prepared this time. So what I'm going to do is, and maybe I should have done it to 3 3/4 by 5. You know what? I'm going to cut this down a tiny bit more because I forgot. This is already a 4 by 5 1/4 inch card, and it needs to be a little bit smaller than that because of the fold that's in there. So let me cut off a 1/4 inch from the top and one side. So now I'm going to have an insert here. My basic white insert inside is going to be 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So let's do that. This is why my craft room is such a mess, because I'm a kind of a creative mess when I'm doing things. You could do the same butterfly inside. I did that for one of my cards. I have to show you one of the cards. Let me just add this here. So you can do that just like that. And you're all ready to go. Just like that. So there's your card. Isn't that so pretty? It's really, really pretty. And it makes it look so fancy. So you'll have to watch it again if you need directions, but make sure that you don't emboss until you've die cut your circle out first. Then you emboss this layer. Then you're going to attach it to the front, and then you take your little removable adhesive and put the center in here so that you can line up and die cut your circle for the inside that's going to perfectly match. So there you go. A simple card. I was going to show you, this is what I did for my boho blue card for the card we're doing tonight. Look at how pretty that is. What I did was I stamped off my butterfly before I stamped it inside. And you can still write over top of that. Almost looks like a note card, doesn't it? Very, very pretty. So anyway, let me flip back and say thanks for joining me. I hope you can come to card class tonight. I wanted to show you this. Isn't that pretty? I got that from Rhonda when I went to St. George. Just love how it lights up. So that's something I wanted to show you. And of course, to keep you in the mood, I got my butterfly here. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. I will see you very, very soon again, hopefully next Monday, with another project from another featured spotlight. Talk to you later. Bye.